The silent fleet. Captain Elena Reyes stood motionless before the observation window of Outpost Omega, hidden deep within the asteroid belt of the Proxima Centauri system. Her reflection stared back at her, dark eyes hardened by years of war, short black hair streaked with premature gray, the scar across her right cheek a permanent reminder of the day the XLR came. "Status report," she commanded, not turning from the view of the massive shipyard concealed within the hollowed-out asteroid. Lieutenant Commander Jackson approached, his footsteps echoing in the quiet command center. "Final preparations complete, Captain. All 220,000 ships in this sector are armed, crewed, and ready for launch. The other two staging areas report similar readiness." Elena nodded slowly, her eyes tracking the movement of the sleek, obsidian warships as they maneuvered into formation. Each vessel was a masterpiece of human ingenuity, born from desperation, forged in secrecy, and fueled by an unquenchable desire for retribution. 7 years, she murmured. 7 years since they came. The memory of that day remained seared into her consciousness. She had been stationed at Luna Base when the XLR Armada appeared without warning or provocation. Thousands of alien vessels darkening Earth's skies, their weapons turning cities to ash in minutes. The XLR had called it a preventive pacification, claiming that humanity's rapid technological advancement posed an inevitable threat to galactic stability. 2 billion lives extinguished in 3 days. "The XLR still believe we're broken," Jackson said, interrupting her thoughts. "Latest intelligence confirms their defense systems remain at minimal readiness. Their upcoming subjugation festival begins tomorrow, celebrating 7 years of human domestication." Elena's lips curled into a cold smile. Their arrogance has always been their weakness. For 7 years, humanity had presented a face of submission. Representatives sent to the Galactic Council bowed their heads and accepted harsh limitations. Earth and its colonies submitted to XLR inspections. Resources flowed outward to alien worlds, while humans lived under strict rationing. All while a different truth unfolded in secret. "Admiral Takeda's transmission is ready," announced Communications Officer Chen from her console. Elena straightened her uniform. "Put him through." The holographic display flickered to life, revealing the weathered face of Admiral Kenzo Takeda. He had been Earth's Space Force commander when the invasion began. Now he led what remained of humanity from the underground capital on Mars. "Captain Reyes." Takeda greeted her with a slight nod. "Project Lazarus status. All systems green, Admiral. The fleet stands ready." The Admiral's eyes, which had witnessed the fall of humanity's greatest cities, showed a flicker of emotion. "The President has given final authorization. Operation Phoenix commences at 600 tomorrow." Elena's pulse quickened. After years of hiding, building, and planning, the moment of reckoning had arrived. "The XLR never understood us," Takeda continued. "They studied our history, saw our wars, our divisions. They calculated that a decisive first strike would break our will." His voice hardened. "They never grasped what happens when humans unite against a common threat. While the aliens had taken Earth's surface, they never found the vast underground facilities where new technologies were developed. They monitored known human shipyards, but never discovered the asteroid bases and gas giant operations where components were manufactured. They controlled major transit routes, but never detected the secret pathways human scientists had mapped. Most critically, they never realized that humans had been studying alien technology for decades before the invasion. When the XLR attacked, humanity already understood more than the aliens suspected. "We've waited long enough," Elena said firmly. "It's time we showed them what humanity is truly capable of." Admiral Takeda nodded gravely. "You understand what's at stake, Captain. If even one staging area fails to deploy on schedule—" "It won't happen, sir," Elena interrupted. "Every ship, every crew member knows their duty. We've simulated this operation thousands of times." The Admiral studied her face for a moment before continuing. "Very well. Authorization code. Phoenix Rising. Elena entered the code into her secure terminal. Authentication accepted. Operation Phoenix is now active. After the transmission ended, Elena turned to her executive officer. Commander Jackson, initiate final preparations. I want all personnel at battle stations in 6 hours. Yes, Captain, Jackson replied, then hesitated. Permission to speak freely? Elena nodded. Do you think they'll understand? When we strike back, will they finally comprehend what they've done? Elena's gaze returned to the window, where the vast human fleet waited silently. The Axillari believed they were teaching us a lesson about power, she said quietly. Tomorrow, we'll teach them something about humanity they never bothered to learn. We don't break. We remember, and we always rise from the ashes. As the hours ticked by, activity intensified throughout the asteroid base. Crew members boarded their ships, engineers performed final checks on revolutionary weapon systems, and tactical officers reviewed attack coordinates. In her private quarters, Elena opened a small compartment in her desk and removed a worn photograph. Her family outside their home in Sao Paulo, Brazil. None of them had survived the initial bombardment. Soon, she whispered to the image before carefully returning it to its place. At 500, Elena stood on the bridge of the HSS Nemesis, the flagship of her battle group. Around her, crew members moved with quiet efficiency, their faces set with determination. Captain on deck, announced Commander Jackson as she entered. As you were, Elena said, taking her place in the command chair. Status report. All systems operational, Captain, replied the tactical officer. Quantum drives at full capacity. Graviton shields active. Phase shift weapons armed and ready. The ship's AI presented a holographic display showing all 220,000 vessels in their sector, arranged in precise attack formations. Similar fleets waited in the Ta Ceti and Wolf 359 systems, bringing the total to 700,000 warships, each carrying technologies the Axillari had never encountered. Communications, open a channel to all ships in the fleet, Elena ordered. Channel open, Captain. Elena took a deep breath. This is Captain Reyes. For 7 years, we have hidden in the shadows, waiting for this moment. We have built our strength while the enemy believed us defeated. Today, we show the Axillari and the entire galaxy that humanity will not be extinguished. Today, we fight not only for vengeance, but for our right to exist without fear. She paused, her voice growing stronger. Remember Earth. Remember those we lost. Remember why we fight. The response came immediately. A chorus of acknowledgments from ships throughout the fleet, voices united in purpose. As the final minutes counted down, Elena thought of the Axillari celebration that would be beginning on their homeworld, their supreme leader preparing to address the galaxy about the successful pacification of the dangerous human species. T-minus 30 seconds to synchronized launch, announced the navigation officer. Elena straightened in her chair. All ships prepare for quantum jump. The massive engines of the human fleet hummed to life, energy building as the quantum drives prepared to tear holes in space-time. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Launch, Elena commanded. Across 3 star systems, 700,000 warships simultaneously vanished from their hiding places, leaving behind empty shipyards and abandoned bases. In that same instant, they reappeared throughout Axillari-controlled space, a massive coordinated strike that the aliens had deemed technologically impossible for humans to achieve. As the HSS Nemesis emerged from quantum space near a major Axillari military outpost, Elena watched the alien defenses scramble to respond to the sudden appearance of hundreds of human warships. They see us now, she said quietly, as the first shots of humanity's counterattack streaked across the void. And they're about to learn exactly what they've awakened. Throughout the galaxy, communication networks flashed with urgent alerts as reports came in of simultaneous human attacks on outposts, defense platforms, and supply depots. The species that had thought humanity subdued was striking back with overwhelming force. A grim smile crossed Alina's face as the first Solari defenses crumbled under the human onslaught. The galaxy had fallen silent in horror as it realized what it had done. It had given humanity every reason to unite, every reason to fight, and 7 years to prepare its response. The reckoning had begun. Reckoning Day. Admiral Kenzo Takeda stood on the bridge of the HSS Vengeance, watching as the holographic display showed human forces advancing across 3 sectors of Solari-controlled space. 6 hours into Operation Phoenix, and already the reports exceeded even his most optimistic projections. Outpost Sigma has fallen, reported his tactical officer. Minimal casualties on our side. All primary and secondary objectives secured. Takeda nodded, his weathered face betraying no emotion. Around him, the bridge crew worked with quiet efficiency, coordinating the movements of thousands of ships as the human counteroffensive expanded outward like a supernova. "And the Solari response?" he asked. Commander Wei, his intelligence officer, looked up from her station. "Disorganized and ineffective, Admiral. Their command structure is in chaos. They never prepared contingencies for an attack of this magnitude." Takeda allowed himself a small smile. For 7 years, he had carried the weight of humanity's survival on his shoulders. When Earth's defense grid had failed, and the Solari bombardment began, he had made the painful decision to withdraw the remaining fleet rather than fight a hopeless battle. Many had called him a coward then. Now they understood it had been strategy, not surrender. "The Galactic Council has convened an emergency session," Wei continued. "Our ambassador is addressing them now." "Put it on screen," Takeda ordered. The display shifted to show Ambassador Sarah Chen standing before the assembled representatives of the Galactic Council. Unlike previous human delegates who had appeared humble and defeated, Chen stood tall, her voice unwavering. "For 7 years, we have endured your occupation. For 7 years, we have buried our dead. For 7 years, we have pretended to accept our defeat." Her eyes swept across the alien delegates. "That time is over." She activated a holographic projection showing human fleet positions and the territories already under their control. "As I speak, human forces are neutralizing Solari military capabilities across 3 sectors of space. We are not interested in negotiations or compromises. Our terms are simple: unconditional surrender or face extinction." The council chamber erupted into chaos. The chief counselor, a tall, spindly being from a species known as the Prax, raised his appendages for silence. "This is madness. You cannot hope to defeat the combined forces of the Solari Dominion," he declared. Chen's response was cold. "We already are. The question is not whether we can defeat them, but how many of them will survive when we're finished." Takeda muted the transmission. "Set course for the Solari Central Command Station in the Rigel sector. That's where their fleet admiral will be coordinating their response." As the Vengeance entered quantum jump, Takeda reflected on the path that had led to this day. After the invasion, humanity had appeared broken. Representatives sent to the Galactic Council had bowed their heads and accepted harsh limitations. Colonial planets had submitted to alien inspections. Earth had begun rebuilding under watchful alien eyes. All while in secret, humanity had prepared. The quantum jump ended, and the Vengeance emerged at the edge of the Rigel system alongside 50 other human capital ships. Ahead lay the massive Solari Command Station, a structure housing over 30,000 military personnel responsible for coordinating defense operations across this entire sector. "Cavalry vessels moving to intercept," reported the tactical officer. 15. No, 20 ships. "Deploy countermeasures," Takeda ordered calmly. "Activate graviton shields." The human ships released clouds of nanoscale devices, another technology the Solari had never encountered. The devices swarmed toward the alien vessels, infiltrating their systems and disrupting their weapons' targeting. When the Solari fired, their energy beams dispersed harmlessly against the graviton shields that bent space-time around the human ships. "Return fire," Takeda commanded. "Disable their engines and weapons. I want that command station intact." Precision beams lanced out from the human fleet, striking the XLR vessels at their vulnerable points. Within minutes, the alien defenders were drifting helplessly in space. "Prepare boarding teams," Takeda said. "I'm going over there myself." Commander Wee looked concerned. "Admiral, protocol dictates." "I know what protocol dictates," Takeda interrupted. "But I need to see their faces when they understand what's happening." 30 minutes later, Admiral Takeda stepped onto the command deck of the Solari station, accompanied by elite human soldiers in advanced combat armor. The alien officers, tall, gray-skinned beings with 4 arms and large compound eyes, stood surrounded, their weapons confiscated. Fleet Commander Zex Tarek, the highest-ranking Solari present, stepped forward. The universal translator converted his clicking speech to human language. "This violation will not stand," he declared. "The full might of the Solari Dominion will descend upon your species. We showed mercy before. We will not make that mistake again." Takeda approached slowly, studying the alien who had commanded the forces responsible for billions of human deaths. "Mercy?" Takeda repeated quietly. "Is that what you call it? 2 billion dead in 3 days. A necessary pacification," Zex Tarek insisted. "Your species was deemed too aggressive, too unpredictable to be allowed unrestricted development." Takeda activated his wrist display, showing the alien a real-time map of human space. Across it, thousands of ships moved with purpose, engaging alien targets with overwhelming success. 700,000 ships, Takeda said, built in secret while you thought we were broken, equipped with technologies you never knew we had, crewed by humans who lost everything to your mercy. The Solari commander's compound eyes widened as he grasped the scale of what was happening. "This is impossible. Your world was in ruins. You destroyed our cities," Takeda agreed. "But you didn't destroy our will. You didn't destroy our minds. And most importantly, you didn't destroy our capacity for vengeance." Through his earpiece, Takeda received updates from across the front lines. "Admiral, all primary objectives in the Rigel and Deneb sectors secured. The Axelari home fleet is mobilizing, but they remain 3 hours from engagement range." The alien commander sank to his knees as the truth dawned on him. The humans they had believed defeated were not only fighting back, they were winning decisively. "What are your terms?" Zex Tarek asked, his voice now subdued. "Unconditional withdrawal from all human territories, reparations for the lives taken, and a new galactic treaty that recognizes humanity's sovereign right to defend itself by any means necessary." The alien's eyes narrowed. "The Council will never agree." "The Council has no choice," Takeda interrupted. "While we've been talking, human forces have neutralized the defensive grid around the Solari homeworld. Our ships now hold your planet hostage, just as you once held Earth." On the main view screen, a transmission from Captain Alina Reyes appeared. Behind her, thousands of human warships surrounded the Solari homeworld, weapons primed. "Phase 2 complete, Admiral," she reported. "We await your command." As news spread across the galaxy of human ships appearing seemingly from nowhere, of alien defenses falling without firing a shot, of 3 sectors coming under human control in less than a day, a silence fell across the stars. It was the silence of horror as every species realized they had gravely underestimated humanity's capacity for both memory and innovation. 3 days later, Admiral Takeda stood in the rebuilt United Nations chamber in Geneva, one of the few Earth cities partially spared during the invasion. Before him, the leaders of humanity's scattered colonies and the remaining Earth nations had gathered to hear the outcome of the war. "The Solari Dominion has surrendered," Takeda announced. "Their forces are withdrawing from human space. The Galactic Council has ratified a new treaty recognizing our sovereignty and our right to maintain defensive forces. A cheer erupted from the assembly, 7 years of suppressed grief and rage finding release in this moment of triumph. When the noise subsided, Takeda continued, "But our victory comes with responsibility. We have demonstrated to the galaxy what humans are capable of when pushed too far. They fear us now, and fear can lead to desperation." He gazed across the faces of humanity's leaders. "We fought this war not just to survive, but to secure our place among the stars. How we proceed from this moment will define our species for generations to come." President Mary Castillo stepped forward. "What do you suggest, Admiral?" Takeda's expression was solemn. "We show them what humans truly are. Not just warriors who refuse to be conquered, but builders who can forge a better future. Not just survivors who endure, but visionaries who can imagine a galaxy where such conflicts never happen again." As the assembly debated humanity's path forward, Captain Alina Reyes stood at the observation window of the orbital station above Earth. From here, she could see the scars of invasion still visible on the planet's surface, but also the signs of rebuilding, of life continuing despite everything. Her communication device chimed with a message from Admiral Takeda. "The galaxy is watching us now. What will they see?" Elena looked out at the stars. No longer places of terror where enemies lurked, but fields of possibility waiting to be explored by a humanity that had proven its resilience. "They'll see who we truly are," she whispered to herself. "Not just the vengeance they feared, but the greatness they never imagined." Retroclaude can make mistakes. Please double-check responses.